Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So I want to talk about something. I get a handful of emails a year, and in the comment section, I typically get some comments as it relates to my mixed children. Right, my kids are half Asian, half black, and basically, I'm just going to paraphrase the 50 to 100 comments I've gotten over the time. Um, how can you be so pro-black and you have mixed kids? And my answer to that is, I don't care how you feel about me having mixed kids. I really, really don't. You understand what I'm saying? You know, who I choose to have kids and reproduce with, I believe is my personal business. Now, I will be candidly honest with you guys. Honestly, we met years and years back. Dre and I met years and years back. And you don't think about this stuff until you start become a man, right? So I would say about 28, 29. I didn't think twice about the color of her skin. Now, I'm not saying I didn't recognize that she's not Asian. She's not, I should say she's Asian. She's not black. And, but then we get on to the later years and we start thinking about reproducing. And that's when you start to think about it. Oh, she's not black. I didn't think about it when we dated in college and, you know, we became young adults and then moved on and then came back and had kids. Never really thought about it. And I don't know if the saying is true, but I'll tell you one thing, be candidly honest, when I saw her, I knew I wanted to have a kid with her. You know, like I knew that she was the person that would make me a better man. Like I'm being just being dead ass honest with you. You know, like my first line to her was, I didn't ask her, I didn't know her name. I didn't ask her where she came from, where she been, whoever. I says, I'm going to marry you one day. Right. That was my pickup line. So like your spirit knows, you know, and I was young. I was like 21 doing my own shit. You know, I wasn't a perfect man. You know, never claimed to be a perfect man. I have great intentions. And, but it just worked out like that. And I really don't care. It's like someone calling me a nigger. Like, it doesn't bother me anymore. Like, not that it doesn't want me to fight harder, but I have no energy for you. And part of me was doing this video is for other people who have mixed children, whether you're Mexican, white, Asian. It doesn't take away from who you are instinctively. Like who I am instinctively is a fighter, right? And I've only been a black man my entire life. So who am I going to stand up for? Me being a black man. Now I can understand people who have their ill wills or concerns about the diluting of the black blood. I can't have that conversation with you because that's one of your core beliefs. So I can't get you off of your horse. But who you fall in love with is who you fall in love with. And who you have kids with is, you know, technically who you have your kids with. You understand? My only requirement is that you be a great father. You know, and that's just personally what I feel. I don't, you know, like I don't even think about it until it comes up in the comment section or until it comes up in the I get emails about it. You know, you guys send me emails and I don't mind. Keep them coming. No big deal to me. But it does. I don't. People. And I'm truthfully trying to answer you guys' question as honest and as fair. It doesn't move me how you feel. I don't get emotional about it. I'm 40 years old, so that stuff don't. Failure is what moves me. Like if I fail at something, that hurts me. That bothers me. But to look at my son and look at my daughter, and I got some beautiful kids, man. I have some beautiful ass children, man, and they are fucking gorgeous. And I love them to the moon and back. And I mean, no, because the moon and back has an ending. There will never ever be an ending on my love for my children. And I don't give it no, I don't give it no oxygen. I don't personally think about it when I'm in the neighborhood. I have property all in Black America, you know, Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills, property all in that area. And I literally just walk around like they're black kids. I don't, and it may sound troubling to you guys, but I don't think about it at all. It doesn't, not one bit. Now, what I will say this, it may bother other people, and I don't care. And what I've told, and the only thing I is culture, right? Like black culture is something that is not looked high upon in other cultures, right? Just because of how the media portrays us, we're aggressive, we're failures. I'm talking about on a broader scale. I'm stroking with a broad brush, right? So there are some people in other cultures that believe that black men are just dirt and no good. And so I would say from a broad family perspective, there was some convincing. I would say there was some apprehension just on me being a black man. You understand what I'm saying? And them looking with a keen eye, wondering if I'm going to fail. But, my job is to be a great father. You understand what I'm saying? And I genuinely don't have time to be concerning myself with how you feel about me. It's not going to stop my success. It's not going to stop me from buying buildings, securing my children's future. It's not going to stop me being fiscally responsible, loving them to the day I die. And what's so great about it is, and understand this, you need to love your children after death. And how you love your children after death is creating something so they can be fruitful and multiply what you created when you're long and gone. 100 years from now, the Hawthorns will still be here because all they got to do is pay taxes on the property. As long as, and I believe I will do a great job at teaching my kids how to be fiscally responsible. As long as they pay taxes on the property, they logistically will never have to work a day in their life. I mean, they're going to work, obviously, but I'm just saying, when I'm dead, my grandkids just going to have to learn how to pay taxes, $5,000 a year. So at the end of the day, I don't know, but it doesn't stop me from fighting. I am who I am, and I don't know if it's, and put in the comments, and I think this conversation needs to happen, needs to continuously happen, because they say by 2025, 50% of America will be biracial. There's 2052, it's 2025 or 2050. I'm getting the numbers confused. So either of those 2 years, America will be 50% biracial. So let's continue this conversation. If you believe black marries black, that's a beautiful thing. If you believe you fall in love with who you fall in love with, that's a beautiful thing. I've never felt uncomfortable about it a day in my life. But there's very few things I've been uncomfortable about. I am uncomfortable about failing. That is my biggest fear, failing. I'm being dead ass honest with you. Like, me not completing something bothers the living shit out of me. That's just it. It has nothing to do with, I just want to be a great father. So let's continue this conversation. I believe we can expand upon it. Maybe you guys can put in the comment section about things I might have overlooked or something like that. But I don't think love is blind. I think love is a spiritual experience. And then it morphs itself into the physical presence, and then you fall. But I think love is a spiritual experience, and there's 10 to 20 people on earth, I don't know the number, but that you can ultimately fall in love with. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because when you're in a relationship, you give everything, and you can't give everything again, because that you leave something in a relationship. So I do you think there's such thing as soulmates? I believe there's such thing as, I believe to a certain degree there's such thing as a soulmate. So I'm just real curious. I'm real curious about what you guys have to say, because I know 80 something% of you guys are men, and I would say many of you guys are black men. So let's have this. I'm not offended if you believe a black man should marry a black woman. I'll just make that clear in the comment section. I am not offended. So talk to me as if you're talking in a barbershop with your best friend. I'm not offended by it. All right. So if you believe it, let's have this conversation. Let's have dialogue, because I think there are people, there are certain sectors in America that believe Mexicans should marry Mexicans, and then whereas the Mexican falls in love with a white girl or a black girl, and he may feel insecure about it, so maybe this can get out to a certain population that may need it. You understand? So anyways, man, Barbershop Conversations. It's Monday. It's Deontay Wilder week. And I'm gonna drop a handful of videos on Deontay Wilder this week. I'm absolutely I think he's a man among men, you know, and there's very few people in the world that will stand on a pillar and talk like a Malcolm X. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyways, man, barbershop conversation, man. Feel free to subscribe button and keep this conversation going. Talk to you soon. Peace.